public elementary and secondary school teachers' unions to hold strike votes this autumn. Dan Kearns, The Standard. North Durham, Kawartha. Elementary and secondary school teachers might be heading to the picket lines this autumn. In a press release sent out on Monday, August 14th, the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario, ETFO, announced they would be holding strike votes from the middle of September to the middle of October. Bargaining has stalled at ETFO's Education Worker Central Table. At its Occasional Teacher Central Table, ETFO has repeatedly tried to get the government to talk about important issues like improved supports for students with special needs, violence in schools, compensation, fair and transparent hiring practices, workload and working conditions, and smaller class sizes. The government has refused to engage in any meaningful discussions about these education priorities, the press release stated. In a statement, ETFO President Karen Brown said she feels the union has waited long enough for a fair deal. ETFO members have been without an agreement for almost a year. They have been patient, but their patience has run out. We need the provincial government to take bargaining seriously and to act in good faith as required by law. ETFO's goal is to reach fair and reasonable agreements without having to take job action. We need the government's full attention on bargaining so we can address pressing concerns in public education. The Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation is also going to be holding strike votes soon, according to a memo obtained by the Canadian press. It is well past time for this government to come to the table, willing to conclude a deal to ensure students in Ontario can learn and grow in a world-renowned public education system, the memo stated. A strong strike mandate will demonstrate our unity and determination to achieve fair and favorable terms for our members and students. In a statement posted on Twitter, Ontario Education Minister Stephen Leachy reacted to the actions being taken by these two unions. Our government has been bargaining in good faith, meeting over 170 times with all education unions, and are focused on securing a deal which keeps students in class, provides parents with stability, and treats educators fairly. Threatening another strike and creating anxiety for parents and students just weeks before the start of the school year is unnecessary and unfair. His statement added the government is available to meet every day to negotiate a deal.
Blackstock Fair coming back this month. Dan Kearns, The Standard. Scugog. The Blackstock Fair returns to the fairgrounds on Saturday, August 26th for its 156th edition. The local fair will begin at 9:30 a.m. There will be a Kids World area, including face painting, hair color spray, a coloring table, a toddler play area, a corn play table, and a hay obstacle course. Air bounce inflatables will also be returning to the fair. For $10, parents can acquire a pass to allow their kids to play all day on the inflatables. There will also be lawn tractor pulls, livestock shows, horse shows, a community market with craft and food vendors, live music, and home craft competitions. For a second straight year, admission to the fair is free until 4:30 p.m. Then, at this time, gates will open for the Demolition Derby, starting at 7 p.m. Tickets to watch the Derby are $15 for adults, $5 for children aged 6 to 11, and children 5 years of age and under get in free. The Blackstock Fairgrounds are located at 3440 Church Street in Blackstock.
Scugog looking for resident input to help shape the 2024 budget. Dan Kearns, The Standard. Scugog. The Township of Scugog is seeking residents' input on their 2024 municipal budget. The Township of Scugog is preparing the 2024 budget and wants to hear from residents and property owners about their budget priorities. Scugog provides programs and services to the community based on an annual operating and capital budget. Each year, staff prepares a game plan which takes new ideas for programs and service improvements and runs with them to produce valuable assets which benefit the community, read a Scugog Township press release. Those who would like to provide their input are asked to go online to my.scugog.ca/budget and answer a budget survey. Input from the community is a vital part of the budget planning process, the press release stressed. The deadline for survey responses is Saturday, September 30th. The site also includes information on the types of services the township currently offers, how property taxes are broken down between the township, the Region of Durham, and the Durham District School Board, DDSB, and the differences between capital and operating expenditures. The Township has scheduled a capital budget open house on Monday, November 6th at 6 p.m. and an operating budget open house on February 5th at 6 p.m. Open house meetings are an opportunity for residents and taxpayers to review the budget, ask questions, and provide feedback to staff and council, a post on the website explained. Paper budget feedback forms can be obtained by calling the municipal office at 905-985-7346.
Welcome to You've Got to Be Kidding, a podcast that offers a different perspective of life around us. Listen now to author Jonathan van Bilsen.
Every time I fly, I'm always intrigued with the great views of the scenery below. Trying to pick out a landmark, seeing if we fly over my house, or just simply enjoying the view has always been a fascination of mine. 10 years ago, I took it one step further and purchased a Phantom drone, which was about the size of a pizza box and about 5 times as thick. It was an incredible piece of technology. The camera was great for the time, and I could create videos and photographs from high above. Although it was heavy, 1,300 grams, which is nearly 3 pounds, and it was not really meant for traveling, it did serve me well in the entertainment area as well as business. People asked me to look at their rooftops to see if repairs were needed, and I did a number of promos for real estate agents as well. Overall, it was fun. One day, the Ministry of Transportation decided drones were becoming a hazard, and justifiably so. If one landed on a car, it would make a sizable dent. Interference with aircraft was another major downfall. Something had to be done, and it was. All drones weighing over 300 grams had to be registered, and to fly one you need a basic pilot certificate. Sadly, my drone ended up in the cupboard. Last week, however, my life changed and I acquired a mini drone. It weighs about 300 grams, which is half a pound, and less than the registration necessity. This means I can fly it most anywhere. It's about half the size of an egg carton, takes fantastic 4K videos, raw photographs, and it's extremely easy to control. I took it out on an inaugural flight over the lake and was very impressed with the results. I needed a photograph for a client, which had to be 9 feet by 2 feet. The quality of the final product was amazing. I'm still learning the limitations, but flew it to its highest altitude of 120 meters, which is 400 feet, and was surprised at how far I could see. A whole new world has opened up for me with endless possibilities, and I cannot wait until my next flight. Who knows, maybe I'll get to the moon yet. I'm Jonathan van Bilsen, and this is You've Got to Be Kidding.
The Word Comes In and Fills Those Places by Tina Y. Gerber-McCurley. In life, we are to bring order to chaos, because we are made in the image of God. Sometimes, in the underlying fabric of our lives, we experience layers and years of chaos. She says, this is part of the human experience, as my husband and I can attest to fighting a flawed government system or facing tragedy when it strikes. Still, what does this mean, bringing order to chaos? Chaos is unexplored territory, the unknown, and that which has no clear order. And let's face it, we all prefer stability and structure, even if it brings some moments of boredom or predictability. Ironically, it is sometimes easier to pretend a problem or chaos doesn't exist and remain in what feels like an indeterminately safe place. However, we should really be thoroughly anchored in Christ and have healthy boundaries. Personally, I find stability and structure in the Bible comforting and supportive, especially with the uncertainty of this world. I believe faith is an integral part of this journey to push yourself to the limit of your ability and challenge yourself. This living challenge includes everything we say, do, and feel. Leaving God out of this process doesn't make sense to me. The best self-care is if we let go and cling to God. I've avoided dealing with my age for years, yet age is not really a paramount factor. I am set to have my 65th birthday next month, and while some readers refer to me as a baby, I am excited and blessed to celebrate this with my family. As a senior, I finally understand, and I can shift my focus from the fear of aging and chaos to the rich, full life God has called me to. The Bible has several verses which talk about God's relationship with seniors. If we listen, we will all hear God talk about grace, not fear and resistance. I saw a friend I hadn't seen in years, and I told her she looked great and the years had been kind to her. She just about bit my head off, stating she earned the wrinkles and the gray hair. Actually, I was speaking of her inner beauty, not just her physical beauty. Aging, for many, is seen as a loss of control and complete chaos. We forget things and need more physical and sometimes mental help. The human body is not intended to live forever. We can honor God by creating habits which bring us health and strength while following His Word. The media leads us to believe youth have more value. The truth is, God treasures us at every age. God gives us specific gifts in every season of our lives. As the older generation prays for our youth, perhaps the younger generations will come to understand they are loved and cared about. Seniors can and do make a difference in their lives. Prayer is an important aspect, but it is also essential for older people to be intentional about growing, loving, and personal relationships beyond the experience with grandchildren. Aging does have an upside. Christians are rewarded with a kind of spiritual adulthood youth do not have. While I can no longer get down on the floor with my grandchildren, we can still snuggle on the couch and read books together after I find my glasses. I am no longer expected to run, cook, or wash the dishes at any family gatherings any longer. Plus, I can eat my dessert before supper. The Lord promises those who believe in Him His love and care. The Lord says in Isaiah 46:4, "And I will still be carrying you when you are old. Your hair will turn gray, and I will still carry you. I made you, and I will carry you to safety." That's the easy-to-read version, ERV. Life doesn't have to be bleak just because you're growing old. For those who walk with God, it takes us nearer to heaven, which is a comforting thought.
You've Got to Be Kidding was presented by X4 Media with permission from the Standard Media Group. We endeavor to make all information contained in this program as accurate as possible at production time. X4 Media and the Standard Media Group are not responsible for any liabilities resulting from information contained in this program. For more information, please visit x4media.ca.
The Standard Podcast was produced by Greenstream Studio for the Standard newspaper.